What's up, guys? Alright, so welcome to the video. This is going to be my vlog for the Chicago Pro. So I'm very excited to kind of just show you today, at least, meal one, kind of how my morning goes, and then we'll do a little video later on here about just mindset and stuff like that. So it's 7:39 now. You saw I was up about 6:30, and I'm gonna make meal one. Show you guys what I have for meal one, or what I've been having for the last little while now, and then we'll get the morning routine going like that. I'll get Isabella to school. Everybody will make sure that they're fed and everything's done, and then we'll get to the video about mindset. But for now, let's get cooking meal one. Alright, so meal one has been eggs and a bagel. Usually what I'll do too is throw on just one of these guys here, just a fat-free cheese. It doesn't really have anything. What does it have in it? I'm trying to show you guys what it's got in it. As you can see here, it's got about 30 calories. There's 2 grams of sugar in there, but it's more so for flavor. I'm not really too worried about it. It's fat-free, and I've been having it every morning, so it's not like, you know, if I'm having it all the time, then it's not a huge deal. I may or may not take it out eventually, but I've been having it every morning. So if you're having it every morning and it's part of the staple or part of the diet already, there's not really much point in changing it. So it's cooking up here. And always cook your eggs on a medium heat, or even lower sometimes. Don't cook your eggs on a high heat. You want to have the nice soft eggs. So I'll have 5 whole eggs. I'll have this bagel that is about almost 40 grams of carbs, and that'll be it. I'll put some pink Himalayan salt on there, and yeah. So let's get cooking, and I'll kind of show you the process. Can't forget the morning coffee either. Love this cup. So there it is. As you can see, 5 whole eggs. Got that little bit of fat-free cheese on there. Lots of pink Himalayan salt. Got the pepper. I'll throw on some Frank's and mustard. My coffee, and that's the morning. That's usually what we have every morning. I don't really count macros and calories and all that stuff. I just know how much food I usually eat and what I need to eat. I kind of know numbers already in my head according to how much protein, how many carbs, how many fats, etc. And if I need to remove something, then I'll remove something. If I need to add something, I'll add something. But this is meal one. I'm gonna get this in. It's about 8 o'clock right now. Isabella has to go to school about 8:30, so I'll eat this meal, maybe watch a little bit of YouTube, we'll see, get her to school, and then I'll come back and we'll kind of go over the mindset of 2 weeks out of the Pro Debut. Alright guys, as promised, today is Friday, October 2nd. So we are officially now 2 weeks out of the Chicago Pro. As you saw earlier in the video, I kind of just went over like a little bit of how I do my mornings. Get up, take a pee, weigh myself. Every morning what I've been doing is I've been going for a walk with the dog. I treat that as like my fasted cardio. I don't really consider it like very hard cardio or really cardio at all, but it does help with my appetite, it does help with my metabolism, and I mean obviously when you're walking at a decent pace, there is some type of cardiovascular benefit to it. So that's kind of what I do in the morning. But what I wanted to talk about in this particular vlog, just because it is a day off, as I showed you my breakfast, which again, just to go over it, just in case for some reason we forgot, 2 seconds ago, is 5 whole eggs, 1 bagel, and I put a little bit of fat-free cheese on there, the pink Himalayan salt, the mustard, and the hot sauce. So there will be times, sometimes where I may have oats with maybe some frozen blueberries, some cinnamon, some Splenda, instead of the bagel. But I really like, right now, I'm really liking the bagel. I've had that for the last couple of weeks, where you put the eggs on top of the bagel, treat it like an open-faced sandwich. It just tastes delicious. And when you're in prep, you need to get creative with things. I try to tell all my clients, I try to tell other people, dieting and prepping and all that stuff. Well, first of all, that stuff actually is a privilege. Okay, I know a lot of people think like, oh, I'm suffering and this is difficult and whatever else, but this is a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to eat 5 or 6 times a day a good amount of food, and good food, not frozen dinners and fucking bullshit. So to those out there that complain that you're suffering through a diet, I mean, to put this lightly, shut the fuck up, because you're not suffering. You might be a little bit hungry, you might be a little bit depleted, whatever the case, but you get to eat 5 or 6 times a day good foods, and you can make them taste good. Okay, if you don't know how to make them taste good, ask me, look up recipes online, whatever you need to do. But there's a lot of spices and sauces and stuff out there now that are either no calorie or low calorie, and you can add these things to your foods so that it doesn't make it so difficult. Okay, so got that out of the way. That was that. I got the coffee. I got another half cup of coffee here, and like I had said, today's a day off. I just have cardio today. I got a little more cardio later today, but I got a lot to do today. It's my daughter's picture day. I always have stuff to do with Gemma and Sherry. Got to make sure the dog gets walked. Little errands to do, maybe some groceries, whatever the case. But today, I want to talk about my mindset in this prep. And there's probably a lot to unpack with that, but how I'm feeling about this prep. First of all, this prep has kind of started in January. Now, I was planning on doing the New York Pro in May. That got changed, postponed, whatever the case. It got changed to August, then it got changed again to September. Couldn't do that. Then I was going to do the Toronto Pro. That got changed to later November, which eventually got actually just canceled altogether for 2020. So I was going to do one last, like, you know, fuck it, let's just do it. I was going to do the Vancouver Pro. Two things took place. One, it first of all got canceled. Okay, so it eventually got canceled, so it didn't matter. I was still in prep, and this was all during the lockdown. I mean, we started doing all the lockdown stuff in March, and I still had a facility to go to, so I said, fuck it, I'm just going to keep going and try to get this done. And sure enough, you know, it all got canceled. Now, it's actually a good thing that it got canceled, just because our daughter was born July 25th, okay? Now, I believe that show was supposed to be July 13th and 14th. Now, if I had gone to that show, I would have had to quarantine for 14 days when I came back home, and there was a possibility that I would not be able to see my daughter being born. So, after weighing out the options, we kind of just said, you know what, fuck that. I'm not gonna not be there for my daughter being born. That's just not a fucking option. And I needed to support Sherry, so that's what we did. We shut it down for about a month and a half, almost 2 months. Everything started to open back up, and originally I wanted to do a show near the end of the year, just to qualify, maybe qualify for 2021. That show was going to be December 5th. Again, we started looking at things, and it was kind of just too long of a prep, and I don't know. And then they changed the Olympia to later in December, so we looked at a couple other shows, possibilities, and we found the Chicago Pro. Now, Chicago Pro is usually a pretty good show, a pretty good lineup, whether it be open bodybuilding, classic, men's physique, bikini, figure, all the categories. It's usually a pretty good show. And being that I was going to do New York, I thought, you know what, I don't want to do just a smaller show and go there, and you know, you never know how you're going to place. But this was my mindset. If I'm going to do this pro league thing, after I got my pro card, I was super gung-ho about improving and everything else. If I'm going to do anything in this sport or hobby or career, I want to do the absolute best that I can. I don't want to just fucking hum and drum and just go on stage and compete just to compete. I love competing, but to be honest, as much as I love competing and the whole process of that final day, I really just love to train. Like, I love the gym, I love the feeling it gives you, I love the results that it gives you, I love the mentality it gives you a new challenge. There's a lot of self-improvement involved, and that's what I'm more about, is always about being better. That's my quote, that's my caption on my, you know, my whole thing is always about self-improving and being better. So I don't think you can ever really be your best, because once you get to that best, you can still get better at something. So it's always about being better. So that all being said, I just wanted to do a show that I knew I would probably be going against some really good guys. Now, I still chose men's physique. I know some people had thought I was maybe going to switch to classic, which I may eventually do. I do want to. I do love the posing aspect. Obviously, you know, it would take me a long time to do open bodybuilding. And I think at this point, at 35 years old, I don't think that, you know, if I was going to be big genetically, I would have already been big. So you kind of have to go with whatever your genetics allow, your genetic potential, and use that to its absolute best capacity. So that's my thought process. So, Chicago Pro. As it turns out, it looks like there's going to be a handful of guys that have either won shows, or they've placed at the Arnold's, or whatever the case. And my mindset is, I'm going there to win. I know that seems, you know, whatever it may seem like to a lot of people, but I'm not doing this as a career and taking the time and money and investment and everything away from my family, friends, even just my normal life. I'm not putting it all in there just to step on stage and say, hi, this is me, and then that's it. I'm training to win. Now, will they let me win? I don't know. I know some people don't really believe in the whole side of politics and stuff. There was a podcast already done by a couple of guys. Fuad did a podcast with James Hollingshead and Ian, and I think at the time they were talking about Joe Seaman. A couple other podcasts have spoken about this before too. And it should be. This is the way it should be. It should be that the best guy on stage that day wins. Period. That's how it should be. Sometimes it doesn't take place, and that could be, because bodybuilding and everything else is so subjective. That could be apples versus oranges. What one judge may see through the criteria, maybe another judge sees it differently. So you never really know. I mean, you do know, right? If you do all you're supposed to do, you kind of know. You can tell once people are side by side. But I mean, you get so many people judging and making predictions prior, which is fun. That's all good and dandy, and that's part of sports. You analytically guess your favorite football team or your favorite hockey team, and you're like, okay, no, this is a team that's going to win this year, and my team's going to win, because you have that support, you have that belief, okay? But you don't know in this sport until everybody is side by side. So my goal is to be the best, not my best. I'm going to be my best for sure, but my goal is to be the best on stage that fucking day. I'm doing everything I can to be the best on stage that day. That means condition, that means posing, that means my tanning, that means my presentation, that means how I sell myself to the judges and show them that I am worthy of becoming the Chicago Pro winner in men's physique. Now, I know the guys I'm going against. This is no disrespect to them. I believe a lot of them are very, very good. And I may get my fucking ass kicked. I have no idea. But I need to see myself side by side, and I need to see myself against the best guys, or some of the best guys, to know where the fuck I stand in this game. And once I do that, whether I get first or I get in the middle of the pack, or even if I get last for some fucking stupid reason, I'm gonna be happy knowing that I did everything I possibly could. Will I be happy with my placing? Probably not. I'm never really gonna be happy. And even when you win, you might be happy for the moment, but there's always more to improve upon. There's always more to do. And that's the mindset I think you should go into with things. And you should never half-ass stuff. There seems to be a problem, and this isn't me bitching, I'm just talking, but there seems to be a problem in the industry where people believe that, especially in bodybuilding, that you can't say what you're going to do, because then you're not humble, then you're not this, then you're not that. But it's okay to turn around in hockey or football and say some shit like, we're fucking gonna win. Well, why can't I say that in bodybuilding? Like, maybe I'm confident, maybe I really want this fucking win, which I do. So that's my mindset in this whole thing, is I want to win. I'm going to win. And I believe that I am going to be the best on stage that day. And you know what's so awesome about this whole thing? I get to be judged by the best judges. Steve Weinberger, Sandy Williamson, Tyler Mannion, Gary Udit, like all the bigger name judges that have judged the Olympia, that have judged the Arnolds, that have judged the NPC Nationals, the NPC USAs, all these big ass shows, all these big judges are going to be there. So I will get to know exactly where I stand. And I'm very, very excited. I'm very excited. Like, I can't wait to get there. It's 2 weeks to go. I leave on the 14th of October, so I leave 2 days before the show starts. Men's Physique is on the Friday, and then the rest, most of the other ones are on Saturday. But I leave in like 12 days, and the show is in 14 days. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty excited about it all. As you can tell, I'm pretty confident in things, and I think I have a right to be. I think that my midsection will show very well. I think my condition will show very, very well. And I don't think there's a single person in the IFBB Pro League in men's physique that has a better presentation than me. And I'm very confident in saying that. I've seen a lot of guys that have fantastic presentations and fantastic posing, and some of them have fucking terrible posing. And I think that I will stand out the most in the entire league for my posing. It's a bold statement, but, you know, rather than talk about it, I'll be about it, and that's what it'll be. So, this is my start to my vlog, 2 weeks out of the Chicago Pro, and I just wanted to bring you guys along for the ride. I don't really know what type of content I want to start putting out. I know that I want to start putting out content. It's a little difficult to do some of the stuff in the gym just because I have nobody to record for me, and you know, you kind of just have to set up I'm using my phone, I'm not using a camera. So it's a little bit tough for me to do that type of content, but I would love to hear back from you guys on what you want to see from me. I know that I'm not very big in this game yet. I'm not a big name. I'm not a popular name yet, but I will get there, and I'm very excited to get there. So that being said, if you guys have any suggestions on what you'd like to see, whether it be more cooking stuff, maybe the day in the life, I don't know, with the grocery shopping stuff, talking about more stuff like this, like the mindset of how I think things should go, or what I would suggest for other people, informational stuff, whatever you want, let me know. Comment below, you know, just give me some feedback, whatever it is, good, bad, or the other. So, that's my mindset going in so far, and yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this day off, and then back to work tomorrow. We got back tomorrow. Very excited for that, and that's about it. So, like I said, comment, like, subscribe, and give me all that feedback because I want to hear it. I will do another video next week at 1 week out, and I will try my best to do some videos closer to the show too, maybe some videos of the show. If I do that, the YouTube video may not come out until after the show, so some of you guys will already know the results, but you'll at least be able to see kind of the process that I went through to get there in the posing and you know, maybe on stage stuff and whatever else. But I will see you guys next week for the 1 week out from the Chicago Pro vlog, and that's all for now. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I appreciate all the support as always, and let's get this win. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Take care, guys. Cheers.